What up, though? Vino checking in once again. Hey, look, I know last week's video might have been a little bit too real for some of y'all, but I got real friends who follow me, who live in real life, stay in real neighborhoods, have real kids, and go through real stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that brings me to my next lesson that I learned while I was on my adult vacation, on my adult punishment, and that was keeping it real. You know, a lesson on being real. Now, man, the word has changed up. When I was younger, it was like, oh, you gotta be real. Then it was like, all right, you gotta be trill. We trill out here. And nowadays, the kids, they be like, you gotta keep it 100. Gotta keep it 100. You know, but whatever it is that you call it, to me, it's the same thing. It's about being real. And a lesson that I learned, you know, while I was on my little vacation, I got cool with this guy, man. His name was Faison X, right? Faison X, he put me under the wing, basically. And, you know, I used to work out with him, and he just is like a cool dude. He wasn't involved in no nonsense. You know what I'm saying? He held himself like a king. He walked around and had respect. And I just was like, you know, I was kind of drawn to him. So I remember one day, Faison was talking to this other gentleman that he knew, and I'm going to refer to him as the regular. We're going to call him the regular. And I'm gonna tell you why. But they was having this discussion, and it was a lighthearted discussion. It wasn't really serious, but the regular, he was like, man, listen, if I do some dirt, if I commit a crime, and your mama tell on me, and I end up going to jail, your mama snitched on me. She snitched on me. And Faison was like, what, man? You don't get out of here, man. That's some nonsense, man. He like, nah, the regular like, nah, for real. Like, if I do something wrong and your mom, she tell on me, then she snitched on me. And he was like, man, look, man. First of all, my mom, she ain't in the game. You know what I'm saying? My mama is a law-abiding citizen. You feel me? So if you break in my mama's house trying to rob her and she called the police, she doing what she's supposed to do. Like, she's not in the game. Like, what you expect? You want my mama to ride on you or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom, she ain't even like that. He's like, man, that's nonsense, man. Get out of here. My man like, nah, man, I don't care what you say. She snitched. She snitched on me. So as he walked away, Faison was talking to me because I sat there and heard the whole conversation. Faison was like, man, don't listen to him, man. That dude is a clown, man. I'm like, man, I kind of understand where he coming from, but I understand where you coming from too. He like, look, that's why he on his F prefix. Now, I'm like, F prefix? Now I've learned that the dumbest question is the one that you don't ask. So I'm like, and I'm kind of green. So I'm like, yo, what's the F prefix? He like, basically, every time you come to prison, you get a prefix. This is your first time in prison. So right now you on your A prefix. He like, he's on his F prefix. So I'm like six times. Like, my man have been in prison like 6 times. He like, yeah, he's a regular. He's a regular. Don't listen to that clown, man. And then he went on to say, like, if that's the case, he shared something that was personal to me. He shared something that was personal with me. And he was like, if that's the case, you know, I've been in here for 16 years, you know, and that was a surprise for me, you know, because I thought he was my age, but I've learned that prison preserves people. But he was like, you know, I was involved with some people, something happened, make a long story short, somebody got killed. And I didn't kill him. I didn't do the killing, but I know who did it and I know what happened. And I didn't say nothing. And they put it on me. And I've been in here for 16 years. So if that's the case, when I get out and I go back home, I'm going to be the realest. He like, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to have all of this respect on the streets, right? He like, but to my 16-year-old son, what you think he think of me? And I'm like, yo, like that blew my mind. Like, I went back to my cell and I thought about that for months. I was just thinking about that situation, and I would have conversations with myself. I'm like, Vino, you've been out here trying to keep it real all your life. Like, you got something to prove. You want to be real and be respected and you know, have this status, have this clout. And it's like, would you go out like that? You know, if you was in his position, is that how real you want to be? And I thought about it like, you know what? If I was in that situation, I would. Like, I wouldn't say nothing. I'm not about to tell on nobody. Like, that's the rules of the, you know, the game. That's the principles of this whole thing. Like, we not telling. Like, yeah, I would be in here. And I'm like, that thought right there, my thinking, it really didn't sit well with me. It didn't sit well with me at all. And I'm like, all right, so if that's the case, like, are you gonna go out like that? And I'm like, nah, like I ain't going out like that. And I'm like, well, what can you do? What can you do to prevent this from happening to you and putting yourself in that type of situation? And I'm like, y'all, I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking, I told you I was thinking about this for months. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, like, I can just leave. Like, you can just leave. Like, you ain't got to be around that. And I'm like, leave? Like, leave? Like, this where I'm from. Like, this is all I know. Like, I don't have nothing else. And I'm arguing with myself like, nah, bro, like, what you mean this all you know? Like, you smart. Like, you can learn something new. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to live with these circumstances and these conditions, bro. Like, you can leave. Like, you sound like a fool. Like, are you stupid or are you dumb? Like, you want to spend the rest of your life somewhere for decades, just sitting somewhere on some principles, on trying to keep it real? Like, bro, this is when keeping it real goes wrong. You feel me? And if you are in a position to not put yourself in these situations and circumstances, then you need to do that. If not, you a fool. And that's like, I feel like, y'all, that's the point in my life where I began to change my mind. Like, I'm like, yo, like, I don't want to be a gangster. Like, I don't want to be a G. I don't want to be a gangster. Like, I don't want to be in here with all of these people like this. I don't want to make this a revolving door. I don't want to be prefix, let alone an F prefix. So what do I need to do? I'm like, yo, you need to just get out of them situations. Get out of those environments. Stop hanging with those people. Do something different. Like, you don't have to be out there. Like, you don't have to do this. Like, you choosing to do this because of this music that you listening to, because of your environment, because that's all you know. But the world is a lot bigger than the Regencies. The world is a lot bigger than Flint. And homie, you ain't been nowhere but inside of a cell. And like, when I got out, y'all, like, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm going to keep it real with you. When I got out, I had all of this knowledge. I had wrote down all of these goals. I had said all of these prayers. And I had made myself all of these promises. And when I got out, it was all out the window. I found myself in the same environment, hanging with the same people, doing the same thing. And I remember looking in the mirror one day and I just was like, you fake. Like, you fake, bro. Like, what about, like, yo, what about all of this stuff that you said, man? What about all of this stuff that you wrote down, all of this information, all of these goals, all of these prayers that you said to God and that you promised yourself, and now you out here doing the same stuff? And then stuff started happening. Like, stuff started happening in my life where, like, I had to keep it real. I had to prove myself. And I was just like, yo, you about to end up back in there for a long time, or you about to get murdered out here. Like, that's how things is looking for you. And that's when I just decided to leave, man. Like, I decided to walk away from everything. And it's crazy because like it was a drastic decision. I'm talking about, my homeboys thought I was tripping. They thought I was crazy. Cause I'm like, yo, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. And for me, that's the realest thing that I've ever did to date. You feel me? Is to just walk away from that. And to just be myself. To be myself and not try to be like nobody else and not try to prove certain things to these individuals, because when it came down to the come down, like, I was in the cell by myself. The only person that was writing me and putting money on my books and stuff consistently, consistently, was my mom. I had some people might send me a letter in a blue moon, might put a couple dollars on my books in a blue moon, but like, it was my mom. You know what I'm saying? My dad, he was sending me stuff, writing me, building up our relationship. And that was really it, man. So all of this, I'm trying to keep it real for all of these people. Like, man, come on, man. Like, most of my homeboys, man, they either doing the same thing, they dead, or they in prison. Or they trying to get out of that lifestyle. Because you know what? It's played out. They've been doing it for so long. They like me, like, they keep starting over and falling off and starting from the beginning. And it's just like, you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, then you insane. But I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer, man. That's my little rant. That's my little story on keeping it real, man. Sometimes, like, you gotta keep it real with yourself before you keep it real with everybody else. So, yo, if you like this video, You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that share, hit that comment. You know what I'm saying? Show this to somebody that you feel like can benefit from it. And for all of those people who hit me up last week with those encouraging words and just telling me like they really like that video, man, I appreciate you. And I'm going to continue to bring y'all more content. Thank you for listening.